Alright, welcome back to the shop. Previously made a video that was called Cutting the Cord, and I repaired it using wire connectors. And I've gotten some feedback. Some of you didn't like the way I did it. Others asked whether or not the gauge inside the cord is all the same or different. So I figured, well, let's do it again and we can check. See if the gauge is the same, because I think that the ground is a lesser gauge than the load and the neutral. So I'm going to cut this out and we're going to repair it by soldering it and using heat shrink tubing. Alright, let's get started. I'm just going to cut the repair out, the two places that it was broken. Throw that away. Alright, and now we're going to strip out cord the way I showed you in the last video, by just using a knife and carefully bending the outer cord here until it opens. And then we're going to pull it off. Okay. That's one half. And do the other side. It's a little cold and the plastic or rubber, whatever this is. All right. So, first thing I'm going to do is let's check the gauge of these wires. Now, this says that it's a 14 gauge extension cord, so you would expect the wires to be 14 gauge. All right, so I've stripped the 3 wires, and to me, clearly, the ground is not the same wire gauge as the load or the neutral. I don't know if, let's see. Hang on. Let me go back to autofocus here. Here. You can see that the ground does not have the same amount of copper in the insulation as the other two does. It's smaller. If I were to use my stripper as a gauge, 14, 16 actually slips right over it. On the ground, it seems smaller to me. Now, I could be wrong, but that's the way it looks to me. That they're not putting the exact same amount of copper into the ground as they are in the lode or the common. So, all right, we're going to set this up now to splice it together by soldering, and we'll use heat shrink tubing. All right, this one half of it. Right. I don't know whether or not this heat shrink tubing is going to be big enough. But we'll give it a try. Cut a few pieces. Three of those. And then we need a piece that'll go over the whole cord. I'm going to put the heat shrink tubing over the wires. Okay. Now, do one at a time. Okay, so that's one. And now and just make sure that there's nothing sticking up here. There we go. We'll shrink the tubing. Okay. we're going to do the next one. Try to keep the same distance here. Okay. Oh. It needs a little fixing here. Okay. My torch ran out of fluid. Be right back. Okay, got some more butane in the torch. Good. And then we got the last one. Load. Okay. Looks good. Get cool a little minute. Holy shit. did all that, and I forgot to put the big one on. Oh well. It happens. Okay. All right. So we've got all three wires put back together, but I forgot to put this on. So I'm going to have to do it with tape. Alright, so first we'll use the rubberized tape. I forgot to put the heat shrink tubing on before I soldered them all together. So put the electrical tape on. Okay. All right then. There you have it. Okay, no bulges. Oh, and one other thing. I have to show you that the cord works. So, let's plug it in. Get some, how about a sander? All right, repair complete. See you on the next video.